The F-4 Phantom was a powerful, twin-engine, all-weather fighter used by the U.S. military. Known for its speed and versatility, it became an iconic aircraft during the Cold War and the Vietnam War. Today, it's a star. Subscribe to the channel and leave your opinion. The McDonnell Douglas F-4 Phantom II was one of the most iconic and versatile jet fighters of the 20th century. Originally developed in the 1950s for the U.S. Navy, the aircraft quickly gained favor across all branches of the U.S. military. Its unique combination of speed, firepower, and adaptability made it a staple of Cold War air power and became one of the most widely used and exported fighters in military aviation history. The story of the Phantom begins in 1953, when McDonnell Aircraft set out to create a next-generation carrier-based fighter for the Navy. By 1958, the prototype, designated XF-4H-1, took to the skies. With its distinctive twin-engine design, long fuselage, and wide wings, the F-4 was unlike anything seen before. Capable of speeds over Mach 2.2 and altitudes of 60,000 feet, it shattered several aviation records during testing. Its two General Electric J-79 engines provided immense thrust, enabling it to reach incredible speeds despite its relatively large size. What truly set the F-4 apart was its multi-role capability. While initially envisioned as a fleet defense interceptor, it quickly evolved into a fighter-bomber, reconnaissance platform, and even a wild weasel electronic warfare jet. It could carry an impressive payload of missiles, bombs, and external fuel tanks, up to 18,000 pounds in total, although early versions lacked an internal cannon, relying instead on air-to-air missiles like the AIM-7 Sparrow and AIM-9 Sidewinder. Later models reintroduced a 20mm M61 Vulcan rotary cannon after pilots reported difficulties in close combat. The F-4 Phantom's combat debut came during the Vietnam War. Both the U.S. Air Force and Navy deployed it extensively, and the aircraft played a key role in numerous bombing missions, dogfights, and reconnaissance operations. In a time when the doctrine emphasized beyond visual range engagements, the Phantom was initially expected to dominate with its missiles alone. However, real-world combat quickly proved that close-in dogfighting was still crucial, and the F-4's lack of maneuverability and gun armament became a liability. This led to significant changes in tactics, pilot training, and aircraft configuration. Despite these initial setbacks, the Phantom held its own and racked up an impressive record. Its powerful radar system allowed pilots to detect and engage enemies from long distances, while its robust frame could absorb damage and keep flying. Over time, new variants were introduced, including the F-4C for the Air Force, the F-4B and F-4J for the Navy and Marine Corps, and several specialized versions for reconnaissance and suppression of enemy air defenses (SEAD). One of the most notable contributions of the F-4 Phantom was its influence on aerial combat doctrine. The shortcomings encountered in Vietnam spurred the creation of programs like the Navy's Top Gun School and the Air Force's Red Flag exercises, which emphasized realistic combat training and dogfighting techniques. The aircraft thus played a direct role in shaping the next generation of fighter tactics and pilot training. Beyond the United States, the F-4 Phantom was exported to numerous allied nations, including the United Kingdom, Germany, Japan, Israel, Iran, and Turkey. Each country adapted the aircraft to fit its own operational needs. In Israeli service, for example, the Phantom, nicknamed Kurnus or Sledgehammer, proved instrumental during conflicts such as the Yom Kippur War. Even decades after its introduction, upgraded versions of the F-4 remained in service into the 21st century. The Phantom was also at the center of some Cold War aerial encounters and crises. It was fast, imposing, and served as both a deterrent and a symbol of technological superiority. At the height of its deployment, the F-4 flew for the Navy, Marine Corps, and Air Force simultaneously, an almost unheard-of feat for a combat aircraft. Its adaptability allowed it to perform roles ranging from nuclear delivery to high-speed reconnaissance, enforcing its reputation as a true multi-role platform. Over the years, the F-4 underwent numerous upgrades. Avionics were modernized, radar systems enhanced, and airframes strengthened to prolong their service life. Specialized variants like the F-4G Wild Weasel were fitted with electronic warfare equipment and anti-radiation missiles to locate and destroy enemy radar systems. These aircraft saw extensive use during Operation Desert Storm in 1991, marking the Phantom's last major combat operation for the United States. By the late 1990s, the Phantom had been largely phased out active service in the U.S. military, replaced by newer aircraft such as the F-15 Eagle and F/A-18 Hornet. However, the legacy of the F-4 Phantom lives on. It was a true workhorse that served across decades in a wide variety of roles, and in nearly every major U.S. conflict from the 1960s to the early 1990s. Even today, some air forces continue to operate upgraded F-4s, a testament to the aircraft's durability and forward-thinking design. Aviation enthusiasts around the world still admire the Phantom for its powerful engines, distinctive smoke trails, and thunderous presence. In the history of military aviation, few aircraft have matched the impact, longevity, and legend of the F-4 Phantom. It was more than just a fighter. It was a symbol of air dominance in an era defined by technological competition, geopolitical tension, and evolving warfare.